Running Point, this is DJ.
Ron.
And Serge.
What's going on out there, folks? We're back again with another episode for y'all. Episode 3. We're going to talk about ESPN. The layoffs recently just happened. Some big names, some unknown names. What's next? We don't know. But the headliners are obviously Jalen Rose, Jeff Van Gundy, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, Susan Colbert. So it's like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe a youth movement possibly headed. What do you guys think?
That's how it seems.
I mean, those guys were under contract negotiations, contract coming up to a head, and probably trying to see, how much you're gonna cost us in the long run, moving forward. ESPN, Disney just had layoffs. They're saying they're not related, but with what we're in nowadays, the times that we're in, inflation, money being an issue.
Yep.
It's probably that mean.
No, but it does make sense with Disney laying off because Disney owns ESPN, so it definitely makes sense. Yeah. So it definitely goes hand in hand. But I think it's definitely a youth movement that ESPN, and probably cheaper talent.
I was just gonna say you could probably get the same talent or different personalities for much cheaper.
Not saying they're as good, especially as a Jalen Rose.
But money wise, if you're trying to save
but if you're Jalen Rose, right, and then if you're ESPN and you got Kendrick, Richard, and the whole NBA team over there, and then you have Jalen Rose, and Jalen Rose been there much longer than all of them.
Yeah.
And he I think his salary was above $3 million. All of this is reportedly Googling. You know what I mean? $3 million.
Yeah.
Malika Andrews, her reported salary is $70,000. He's making like us.
Yeah, so they get her for the low. Get her for the low. I mean, she's talented. She's a little bit controversial, but it is what it is. I mean, I like the fact that they're having a lot of more women on staff. Like Ramona Shelburne is still consistent there. Who else is there? I can't even.
Not if they're paying them less.
Yes, of course not.
Check to see how that going.
Yeah,
deservingly, if you deserve to be paid less, then you deserve to be paid less. I'm not saying Malika Andrews need to be paid more,
correct,
but you gotta watch these shady business practices that these companies be doing.
Facts, but I think when you're a talented person, like if you're growing up a hooper, your job, you want to get to the NBA, right? So if you're a reporter or a journalist, your job at one point was ESPN. So you may take a little bit less money just to be on a platform as huge as ESPN.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
most definitely.
But you shouldn't shortchange yourself with the dollar amount, especially while there's fucking revenue money that's coming in.
Right.
But another big name, Max Kellerman, and also Andre Ward on the boxing side of things,
which is crazy.
Crazy.
That's the best boxing announcer plus a GOAT. And
Facts. I mean, I think just Top Rank sucks though anyway. But ESPN, Max Kellerman, what do you think is next for these two?
Max Kellerman, in my opinion, he would go to Showtime. DAZN.
Okay.
DAZN,
I like
that's
that.
his thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And SOG, he had that documentary.
Son of God,
mentioned to me, which is fire. Y'all should go check that out.
On Showtime.
I think he has his own avenue he's going to right now. He doesn't even need ESPN. The way he set it off yesterday was he's parting ways. He wasn't fired, let go, or anything. We're parting ways.
Do you think he gets into the promotion game? Andre Ward being a former boxer.
He already is. Shakur Stevenson.
I thought I thought they had to break up. They didn't break up.
They did.
Because I think he's more so aligned with Bud in that team.
They're all together.
Oh well,
Bud, Shakur, Clarissa,
Shields, true.
Yeah, all of them.
She was looking good. What's her name?
Clarissa Shields. Yeah, the quote.
Lovely.
Greatest woman of all time.
Clarissa knows it all. What was that show? Oh man.
So I mean, since we're on the boxing topic, we got a couple of big fights coming up. We got a huge announcement: Jermell Charlo versus the Mexican guy Canelo. Canelo. He just recently signed with PBC.
That is
what do you think?
Fight. I didn't think I needed. I didn't think it was possible.
Facts.
Just to put it into perspective. All right, this Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight. It's to see who the general is at 147 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
This is the general at 154 versus 168. No other champions. They're the total best. They got all the belts.
Yep.
There's gonna be 10 belts in that night. This is a huge match.
Yeah.
And I think Jermell's gonna shock the world.
You think he beats Canelo?
Oh, I'm going with Jermell. I'm going with Jermell.
I mean, the only way
that's the subjective side of it.
The only way I would pick Jermell is only because he has a lot of wear and tear. Canelo has a lot of wear and tear on him. You know what I mean? Fighting twice in a year. You know what I mean? That's a lot of. It's also moving up in weight and moving down in weight to fight Bivol and things like that. So I don't think Charlo's not ready. in my perspective. I just don't think he's ready.
This is gonna be a good fight. It is what it is. Like,
as long as they go all out.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm
the
saying?
fans are the winner at the end of the day.
So-
I'm just picking Charlo, but at the, like boxing wise, this is a great fight for
did Tank and Ryan put boxing back on the map?
Tank
And Ryan Garcia.
They didn't put it back on the map, but they helped.
Because
show
before
what
then,
happened. Yeah.
headliners weren't fighting each other; they
This-
were dodging each other.
This is arguably the best year in boxing in the last
20
decade.
years, yeah.
At least the last
last
decade.
20 years for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, because now we have
I mean,
another one this month, the 29th.
Yeah,
Crawford Spence. You know what
I
I'm
think the
saying?
hype behind that. Y'all think that the Tank hype is what is contributing to it too? Is all part of the same hype?
It's helpful
Absolutely.
because prior to that, a lot of the big name boxers, popular boxers, they weren't willing to
They were
take the
ducking.
fights with each other to lose that O. Now they showing you Tank and Ryan. All right, Ryan took the O, but he has a huge media personality following. He can come back, build himself back up. This is about money. Like you see how the fight went out, the anticipation, it turned out good for everybody.
Mhm.
This is what can happen. Now these other fighters are putting accolades and pedigree with the fights.
Absolutely.
That's why this Errol and Terrence is gonna be fire.
It's going to be fireworks for sure. I mean, tune in definitely for that, July 29th. Yeah.
Even Boots next week.
Boots, yeah, my man Boots out of Philly.
Who he fighting?
Villa Pena.
Villa. Shit.
He's a straightforward boxer. He comes to play. He's a big puncher. He has like 24 knockouts. He's a real deal, man. So he beat I can't even think of his name right now. Rashidi Ellis, who was a favorite within the fight, and he knocked him out late, or knocked him down twice late in the fight. So I think in the 11th and 12th round. But yeah, so stay tuned for boxing, man. Shit is heating up. NBA free agency, man. We started off with fireworks on Friday with a lot of big signings, a lot of re-signings, and old faces in new places. What do you guys think of the overall free agency market so far?
What's the biggest move out there?
That's a good one.
I mean, at this point, it would have to be, I think, BBD. Booker, Beal, and Durant.
Facts.
At this point,
That happened like a week or two ago.
They're
but
paper,
that's still the
paper
biggest
champions. Paper champions. So it's still yet to be seen. I think I like the fact that we talked about a little earlier. Derrick Rose to Memphis.
Yeah.
They're not going to help in a win. He may not help in a win standpoint, but just the maturity or the development of Ja and veteran leadership.
Memphis is back with Marcus
Yeah,
Smart.
Yeah.
Jock after the 25 games. Derrick Rose
Yep.
helped steady the ship, mentorship,
Yep.
veteran.
Yep.
If Steven Adams and
Brandon
Clark,
Yeah.
Brandon Clark tore his Achilles kind of late in the season. He
Yeah.
might be out the rest of this whole
Facts.
season too.
Oh, damn.
But
Facts.
with Steven Adams coming back to fortify their front line with Jaren Jackson,
The last two
You like
defensive players of the years, Marcus Smart and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, facts.
they're still
Yeah.
missing some shooting. But with what's his name, the white boy, Kennard.
Yeah. That was good.
You know what I mean? They're still missing a little something, but with Bane, Ja, Marcus Smart, and Jaren Jackson,
And Steven Adams. Yeah, that's
Steven
good.
Adams, the defense is going to be legit.
I mean, let's go down to Houston. I mean, we got Fred VanVleet and then also Dylan Brooks being signed. With those young guys down there, what do you guys think? This nigga here.
Benji, come on, man. What was the question?
Oh.
Houston?
Yeah, with Houston.
I mean, they looking like they're doing it right. Houston's you overpay for a solid point guard, right? But at the same time, that's supposed to help develop your young guys. Jalen Green, what was that big dude? Jabari Smith
Jr., yeah.
Yep, Jabari Smith. I don't know, Kevin Porter Jr., he might have a little issue. He might be out of the rotation.
You think so? But he's so good, man.
As far as starting.
Yeah.
Look,
So I don't know.
just gonna put him up.
I think it's pretty dope. I mean, I like it because of the fact that I feel like they got better overnight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that was going to equate to in wins, but in terms of Ime Udoka being there and then just like his mindset and defensive mindset, so it's like I like it, man. I like it.
That puts the pressure on freaking the rookies and the young guys.
Correct, for the quicker development. Yeah, for sure. Also with Iman Thompson there, and then the kid from Villanova. I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head, but
Is it Amin Thompson?
Amin Thompson, yeah. I mean,
nice little guard.
That's a good pickup. I think low key. That's a nice.
Yeah. So back to your earlier point, Porter might be in trouble.
Yeah,
he might be in trouble.
I like Porter though. I like his game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like him.
He's a little bit of a knucklehead, but he's young though, so it's like hopefully he can develop the veteran leadership,
Right.
a champion in your locker room now with Fred being there.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. What do you think about Kyrie signing back with Dallas? Do you think that was his only option?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's only a legit winning option.
And I think it was an expected move.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it
The
was
Mavs
expected.
needed him.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all need each other.
Yeah, I heard Luka was was doing some recruiting
On the phone.
too.
Yeah, facts. And last but not least, obviously the Lakers, y'all team. What y'all think? Here we go.
Listen.
Here we go. See this?
What do we
Saying
get?
These niggas here, man.
They
These
say we
niggas
won
here.
free agency.
Who's they?
You know what I'm saying?
Who's they?
If that's something to be won,
Who's they? Who's they? Who's that?
I don't know, man. If you just count wins, they saying we won the free agency.
I think
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
overall all the pickups and the re-signings solid. Austin Reeves,
Mhm.
Gabe Vincent,
Word.
D'Angelo,
Word.
Hachimura,
Right.
Vanderbilt,
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Hayes,
Mm-hmm.
Taurine
Nigga,
Prince,
please.
Cam Reddish.
Who was that? What was that last person you said? Tory who? What?
Taurine Prince,
Oh, Tory. Oh,
and
yeah.
Cam
Yeah.
Reddish.
Uh-huh.
Now, I thought these players are game changers, but you put them in the right system around LeBron. The
Yeah,
youngsters, they
foolishness.
need what we need. They
That's
got what we need. I'm telling you.
But being serious, that's the only thing I do not like is that all of these players are surrounding
LeBron.
pieces to help LeBron, right?
Mhm.
So that means we're still relying on LeBron, who's going to be 39. So that's the only issue. I don't like relying on someone who's going to be 39, and then relying on AD, who's also injury prone. But LeBron taking a slight dip in is who he is, but AD being solid, you know what I mean? We're gonna be right.
We're right there.
Yeah, we got a good team, and if you look at the salaries, the way the roster is constructed, which is perfect, is that LeBron and AD making over 40 plus, everybody else is making under 20, easily tradable. If you ain't
That's
playing
it,
up to par
Yeah.
by trade of the deadline,
That's a fair point. So the team that you guys knocked out in the second round, obviously traded away Jordan Poole and got CP back. What do you guys think? And re-signing Draymond
Initially,
for
it was-
400.
it was questionable.
Mhm.
It still doesn't make sense. But from the standpoint of if you're going to use Chris Paul as the leader of your bench to unlocking their potential, kind of what he did with OKC a couple years ago.
Yeah.
All right, it could work, but that's if he buys in, I feel like.
I mean, Chris Paul's definitely gonna buy in. He's a veteran.
You got to win a championship. You want it now. So
Like, he's not a disruptor. He's gonna buy in. Maybe get traded by the trading deadline if things are not playing out how they all hope.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't like this is gonna be tough. They're not done. Because if you look at their roster, Steph is making 50 million. Then you got Draymond, Clay, and CP3 all making above a certain amount.
Mhm.
Like, that is not going to hold up. And then you look at, like, where's CP3 going to play? He's definitely coming off the bench, but, like, where's the players to help elevate him and who he's going to help out? So, it's going to be tough. I don't think they're done. We'll see what they do.
I mean, I think going pretty much what we talked about off camera. Like, I feel like developing the younger team, because that's what they were missing last year. The younger talent didn't develop at all. To me, it seemed like
the move would have looked better, as he was saying before, with had they kept Wiseman.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. It would have been a huge development for him. So I just don't know why they. I don't even know who he got traded for.
They traded over.
Who did they get back?
That was how they got Gary Payton.
Oh,
Gary
back.
Payton.
Okay. Okay. Do you think Denver did enough? Like, or didn't do anything at all for this free agency move so far?
What did they do?
They didn't do anything.
Something.
That's-
They lost.
they
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think they?
What do you think, Bruce Brown?
Bruce Brown. What do you think?
But because they kept everybody
The core,
though.
except
like Curry. I said Curry, Murray, Gordon. No, Gordon's a free agent, I think.
No, he's good.
Oh,
He's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Porter, Jokic,
Do you think?
KCP,
Do you think it's because of the development of the Brown, the white boy,
Braun.
Brown? I think it's
Also,
Brown.
yeah.
You think it's his development? Is that why?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
go.
think it's because of his development. It's because of money issues that they didn't keep going. Or Bruce Brown. But, yeah, he's going to have to step in. The white boy's going to have to step in. Michael Porter Jr. going to have to take a step up.
Big role.
Yeah,
Um,
but the way that team is set up, you could just put pieces around those guys. You still got the function. They're still gonna be in the top, towards the top.
Okay.
At least.
What about the Clippers? What do you think?
signing Westbrook back.
I mean,
At a low number.
yeah, 2 for 8?
2 for 8.
Two-
2
yeah,
for 8,
that's
pretty much. Getting
KJ Martin.
KJ Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And
Athletic big.
if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still in play for this whole Damian Lillard situation.
I heard there was in play for James Harden.
James Harden,
Nobody
yeah.
wants that shit, man. Nobody wants James either, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. They would, money wise, James would end up
He just
in
James is
LA.
a great point guard.
win.
What you mean?
Win.
During the regular season.
That doesn't count. What does
Wait,
that
so
count?
what this
I
Clippers
mean,
thing?
you have Kawhi not play the regular season, have him come back in April. You know what I'm saying?
So essentially, if James Harden is included, does that mean PG's out of there, or is it Harden, PG, and Kawhi?
That's what I would want.
Like that's
They
what
already
I
got
thought.
Westbrook, so I already
Yeah, I don't
Westbrook
know.
ain't gonna be like. But
then-
Westbrook's at $8 million.
and
Westbrook,
I
you
was
don't
just
gotta
about
say.
to say that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Shit.
I just don't see how it works either way, to be honest with you.
I don't see how you could trust that team at all.
That's what I'm saying.
With Kawhi there, he's the main piece, and he's nice. Like last year for those 2 games, I was ready to say, yo, he's better than KD.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna shut you down and gonna do that on offense. Like he may be really up there, but you can't trust that he's gonna even play a whole series. So it's like it doesn't even matter what you do during the regular season. If your best player is Kawhi Leonard at this point, it's a give or take what's gonna happen in the playoffs.
Does Kawhi get, once his career is done, is he going to be forgotten about?
If it ends up like that, I mean, yeah, he has some moments. It's not gonna be forgotten. But
I mean, for true basketball fans, we know who he is, but in terms of like the casual fan, is he going to be forgotten? Like years down the line.
If it continues
bit.
in this direction, because there's no footage of you playing, this is going to be the lasting memory, recency bias. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think he'll be given his flowers maybe like after a while, after an extended period. But I say just give him. Let's wait till his career.
I mean, he
finishes
does
really
have 2
condemn him.
Finals MVPs and 2 chips, right? Or 3 chips?
2 chips.
2 chips.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get his recognition. Like he got more than a lot of people already.
No, for sure.
So-
It's just in terms of like point totals and things like that, because he hasn't played enough. That's all I'm saying. In terms of the totality of his career, will he be
He's
forgotten?
definitely got the
You know what I mean?
privileges, like the whole load management.
Yeah.
Where I won
He
with
started
Toronto a chip. You could choose wherever you go. There was no pushback. Like,
Yeah.
he was definitely in a position to really
But
control his narrative.
My only pushback with Kawhi is that he was the 3rd or only the 4th option when he won the Finals MVP in San Antonio, right? And then they beat a broken Warriors team. They weren't 100% healthy, the Warriors team.
Who?
The Raptors.
Who you
Who's on the
talking
Raptors? Kawhi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who
So
they beat on the way there? Philly, Milwaukee. Wasn't it? Who else?
Nah, but it's okay. I mean, I just
Hey.
know what I'm saying. I'm not taking anything away
It's
from
cool.
it. Like,
They
it's
won.
Yeah.
We just all know that the Warriors
Would have
would have
been
won.
different.
That's all I'm saying.
But the Warriors winning doesn't diminish Toronto because the Warriors would have beaten, like, with KD on that team, they would have beaten almost every other team in NBA history.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying in terms of like, it just for me like, yes, he has the trophies and things like that, but just the route that was taken to get those 2
Question.
things.
So,
Not the championship, but the finals.
So with you saying that, what about the flip side? The prior year when he was in San Antonio, they were gonna beat the Warriors, but he got injured because his
They
eyes.
weren't going to beat the Warriors. They're up in game 1.
They were gonna
Oh,
beat
his
the
eyes
Warriors.
took his foot out. His eyes took
He
his foot
said,
out.
"Nah, y'all not winning this
That's
one."
what
That was game
Yeah.
1. And we all was sitting there watching. The Warriors was down by like 20-something, 3rd quarter. Everybody watching that game that year thought it's just a matter of time within this game
Yeah.
that the Warriors come back and win the game. So I
I
don't buy
was
that.
hating. I wanted them to win.
Like, nah, San Antonio was not going to be going to say that.
We touched on it a little bit. Obviously, who takes the last shot? Phoenix.
Anybody that's open.
Depends who you. Depends.
Like, we know it's gonna be Durant.
You think? What about Deep Bud?
You have a great plan B and C. I mean, 1A, 1B, 1C.
I think it's how you play it by ear.
Yeah,
Because
who
if
was
you-
open?
First of all, Durant is never going to get a one-on-one shot, right? Like,
Nobody's getting double teamed anymore. What do you do? Pick your poison.
Durant is not getting a one-on-one shot. Durant,
Pick your
you're not
poison.
you gotta send 2 at Durant. One of the other dudes is getting uncovered.
Yo,
Because you
or that other
I was
fifth
gonna
member.
say that other fifth member, if it's a shooter or something, you know what I'm saying? Like that's tough.
bruh, like if I'm Frank Vogel, I'm hitting up Steve Kerr. Like, how do you use KD?
Bradley Beal's taking the last shot. He's a great one-on-one player.
They all are.
But you're gonna send 2 at Durant. You're gonna send 2 at Booker because they're.
Maybe that's why Bill takes the last shot because you know Durant's not gonna. You gotta put
The
2
decoy?
on him, so he's
Yeah,
the decoy.
Durant.
Boom, Bill, you finish it off.
And Durant and Beal with that step back, he's gonna get to his spot. He's gonna get a shot, and I feel like it's just gonna be a clear path for him with Booker and KD there. But like that depends on the scenario. Each one of them deserves to take a last shot.
They're gonna have opportunities. I feel
Yeah.
like, and it's no given. Like
Beal is just option 3, and he's probably gonna have the 3rd best defender on him, or maybe the 4th best defender on him. Is like that's just a great option.
Do you think the Kings did enough for re-signing Sabonis and re-signing Harrison Barnes? Do you think they're a piece away?
Didn't they just sign the EuroLeague MVP as well?
I
I read
don't know
that.
who that
Yeah.
is.
I don't know who that is, but whoever it was, one of those names.
They ain't just signed Victor. that's the Euro ball MVP.
No,
Hey,
it was
whatever.
what's his name?
Wimby.
I'll play it.
Yeah, I don't know. Some player that they had the draft rights to, but he was playing over in the EuroLeague this whole time.
Do you think they did enough though? Have they done enough to like?
Because what I was
stay at
reading
number
with
3?
him, what I was reading about him, I guess him and Sabonis are supposed to be a nice duo because he's a big as well.
Okay.
A big stretch forward.
Okay.
But if he's just now coming to the NBA,
Yeah, it's gonna be
expect
tough.
that from him. I think they gonna be 4 through 6 in the same range like that they are. If they didn't really do anything to improve,
Shit, they might not be in that range because if everybody plays to, that's gonna be a lot of posturing next year too.
yeah, the West is gonna
Like,
be
you
kind
have
of crazy.
So we got a big name in the West, a big fish that finally requested a trade in Dame. His favorite is the Heat. Where does that put both teams? I mean, the Blazers just drafted obviously Scoop, who we all like or who we all love.
Mm-hmm.
We read the Blazers said they're gonna find what's best for us.
So
As they should.
Yeah,
Like, they
with
got a
your
nice little
stuff in
young squad going
consideration. But yeah,
what do you think? I mean, I like me personally. I want Dame to stay in Portland because I just want to see what that looks like with the younger players.
What do you
That's
it's gonna look
For
like it
me.
did last year.
all I'm saying. Just in terms of like him developing these younger players.
develop them into what?
Whatever. I mean, him and Chance. I think him and Chance will do. Well, I just want him to stay there in terms of the loyalty.
I want him. He needs a chance at the chip, bro.
Why would he stay?
That isn't. But it doesn't guarantee. If he goes to the Heat, it doesn't guarantee that he wins a chip.
But
It's not
the
about a
Heat.
guarantee. It's about us getting to see him play in that atmosphere
Yeah.
where the basketball is the
Same time.
best. We don't
Playoff
want to see you play in
basketball.
regular season.
Well, we
Nobody care
don't
about
know, man. On paper, the West looks alright, but injuries happen, things like
But it's
that.
not even in the West. It depends on where he goes. Like the Heat, is the forefront, but it might be one of these other teams.
The Heat is perfect. You got Jimmy and Bam and Eric Spoelstra. That's
Do
like
they keep those two? Do they keep Bam in
they
this
keep
trade?
everybody. Like you got the best of the
ones
best
going
of the
away
best.
would be like
I'm asking.
Tyler Hero, Duncan, the etc. player. You know what I'm saying?
But if you got a great coach, a great do everything player, a great defender, like that's a team. You got a great point guard. That would be a team where the next 2-3 years that y'all in the trenches and y'all building, like that is a solid team to go to war with.
Sign Kevin Love. Not that it's a big thing, but I'm saying
Yeah,
Kevin
offensive.
Love had some moments in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm not saying that.
Just
Yeah.
overall, like what he to his point, building a team, you're trying to cover all points, all
Yeah.
avenues, and if you sign Dame,
Are you Pat Riley? Are
in the
you
mix.
calling for PJ Tucker again?
if you can,
PJ Tucker might be a little done. Now you don't need no points. Cause he's had too many 0-point games.
He's not even shooting the ball,
Yeah.
but defensively,
I mean he's
Can't
still
be a
shooting, but
liability
he's
out
still-
there. You can't be a liability.
for sure. But defensively, I think it'll be. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm just a Dame fan, so I would like to
they
see.
already
Dame
got
play.
Haslam. PJ Tucker is like Haslam at this point. You know, I mean, I guess Haslam just had his last
Hoorah.
thing. So
Yeah.
You
yeah,
need a new Haslam, somebody to replace.
yeah, I guess so.
He
And
culture.
that's gonna be cheap.
I guess so.
That's doable.
So we got the team that they beat, the Bucks. They just re-signed Chris Middleton
Lopez.
and Lopez. Did they do enough?
Nah, I mean, yes and no. Like, you
It's still
kept your
favorites
core.
out in the East. With Giannis.
But what about KP signing with
I was just about to say Kate
with the Celtics?
Porzingis
signing with the Celtics?
What that's going to do to Giannis?
No, I'm just saying they have another.
I mean,
big.
the Celtics
more.
They got the Celtics did what they had to do to solidify them. That doesn't impede, and Giannis is not looking like, oh, y'all got Porzingis now.
No, I'm not saying
I'm
that.
running right through Porzingis.
No, I'm not saying that. Just
Boston may be a great team.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a tougher challenge for.
Because I feel
the
like
Bucks.
Milwaukee's like they're trying the same thing again, and it's not gonna work.
That's
In my opinion.
I think you got to though. I think you got to.
Because they're also keeping Jay Crowder as well.
I agree. Really? Okay. I mean, hey,
I think you got to. With Giannis, you got to. Yeah, you got to, man. Middleton's there.
Injury history.
You got, especially how they lost. Like nobody
expected that.
Yeah, like Giannis just had that shows you like the mentality that you have to have. You gotta be strong mentality at all times. Giannis really just like farted that series away because he just slipped up mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was out of rhythm. Maybe like coming back from that injury, he was thinking too much elsewhere. Like, but that was a mental issue. Missing like how many free throws he missed that game? Like he just wasn't
himself.
Yeah, he was off rhythm. He was off pace. So from that standpoint, it's like, all right, get back, calibrate yourself. That's what they need to do. That's what Milwaukee feels. They need to recalibrate.
Yeah. But my thing is like, if let's just say that he get Dame, right? The Bucks can't just keep that same roster. They have to improve some kind of way.
But
at that point, you'll be able to do what the rest of the NBA does, exempt the whatever.
The Heat get Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis still the best player on the floor.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but in terms of a team,
and then you got Middleton comes back all the way healthy.
But what are the chances of that now? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you still got like I'm not saying that like they're a bad team.
Yeah.
Like they'll still probably do really good. It's just I'm not expecting anything else
Honestly,
other than what I've seen.
I think the NBA has caught up to the Bucks. I think they will. This season that's coming up, they're going to catch up to the Bucks.
No, all right, but also in their defense, though, I think it's the same thing with the Nuggets. When they've lost, I think it's been a lot due to injury.
Yeah.
Like, and when they were healthy, they won, pretty much with the Nuggets.
But as you get older, as you know,
the last couple of years, like they've been out because they've been injured.
But the older you get, you don't get healthier. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so
I'm
like,
just saying health
the Middleton
is
situation,
like the playoffs. Health is everything.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when the pieces around Giannis are a little bit older and banged up.
Yeah.
But Giannis is Giannis.
Of course, but he can't. I don't know if he has the ability to like have this Herculean effort anymore to like get them over the top, especially if the other team's getting a lot better.
No, but
around you know what I mean, around the Bucks.
The thing is with him, I think he's at the point where you still can do that. Like he's 27, 28, so like he's not LeBron where you're depending on a 39-year-old.
Yeah.
We're depending on Giannis in his prime.
Yeah.
So we have.
I think Giannis can still be that like 2 years ago where he's like head and shoulders above everybody on that court that night. I still think Giannis can do that. I just think everything caught up with them. They're a little tired. They're everything. Giannis has been an MVP for like 4 straight years.
My question is their window closed?
I think this is the last year for their window. If they don't win.
Especially with the new coach as well. We don't know what that looks like.
I forgot about that.
You know what I mean? Adrian Griffin is the new coach there, so we don't
know
about that. We don't know what that looks like.
Actually.
You know what I mean? So we just don't know. I mean, not saying that again.
It's not.
Thing.
It's just
just don't know with him.
The Knicks, not me. We didn't really do much in free agency. You know what I mean? But we got DiVincenzo. We got Villanova back together again. 3 out of the 5. You know what I mean?
I might make the Final Four.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know what we're doing right now, but I'm glad that we're not overspending or paying for an older superstar. So kudos to Leon Rose in the front office.
Dame is out there. Just saying.
I don't want Dame. I mean, if Dame came to New York, not me. I'm getting a 0 jersey, dog.
Huh?
I said if he comes to New York, I'm getting a 0 jersey.
But you don't want him to come.
I don't. I'm just saying if it happens. I'm saying if it happens, I don't have control over that. But if it happens, I'm with that. Yeah. I like the fact that we're building, man. Like let's just build through the draft. Not make any boneheaded moves in terms of the free agency. So I'm cool.
How old is Jalen Brunson?
Jalen, he might be 26, 27.
How you feel about
that old? He might not even be that old, actually.
How do you feel about letting Obi Toppin go?
He wasn't getting enough burn. I mean, he fell out of the rotation with Tibbs, so I mean, good for him that he's going to Indiana. That's a good team that's going to probably be up and coming. You know what I mean? Like, they revamped their whole roster.
26.
Bruce Brown, Tyrese got that extension.
That Max.
Word. They
That
still
crazy
got
Max.
Hield and Turner.
Yeah, and then they got that Benedict. I can't even pronounce his last
The
name.
Haitian dude.
Yeah, facts from Canada. So they look really good, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think both parties won, the Kings and also the Pacers.
Oh, they might make the playoffs, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah. Who was the where'd they finish last year, sir?
Just outside. They was on pace to make. I think Tyrese got hurt.
Because he's an all-star as well.
Yeah.
Last year all-star, first time all-star.
Ooh, just number 11, just out the play-in tournament.
Yeah. So and who are the top 10 right now?
Top 10 in the East.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Bucks,
Yep.
Celtics, Sixers, Cavs, Knicks, Nets, Hawks, Heat, Bulls, and Raptors.
Damn. Okay. So
That might still stay the same next year.
that facts.
I
Well,
mean, shit, Indiana.
depending on what
Yeah.
the Sixers do with James and what they decide to do going forward.
Where Dame ends up.
Facts. And then the Nets gotten better? I don't know. So they might definitely
signed
fall.
Cam Johnson and then
Yeah.
they still got
young pieces, but I don't know if that's enough.
What y'all think about LaMelo Ball signing the?
I mean, he chose the money.
What you mean?
Huh?
What?
No, I'm saying he chose the money. Like, because remember, new ownership's coming in, even though Jordan is still on the board. I just think new ownership, normally that's usually creates a division, right? Because we don't know each other like that. We haven't developed a rapport.
But also because I was asking because so they extended offer out to Bridges again.
Mm-hmm.
You bringing back Rozier. I mean, they fell
Yeah.
off. They was
Yeah.
on pace to be a very good team just a year ago.
He got hurt,
So
yeah.
LaMelo does that. I think every time LaMelo's playing consistently for them, they're on pace to be one of the lower playoff teams. Like, LaMelo is a winning culture player.
I agree.
That's why I like the Brandon Miller pick, because he's a scorer. He puts the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
And LaMelo got that Lonzo Ball effect. He's going to make his teammates better and make the game fun and just getting buckets. So, Miles Bridges coming back, got some people on the wings. I like it for them. I think they better try to lock down LaMelo.
You think they're a sleeper?
Sleeper like Indiana. They're going to be battling Indiana.
At this point, the way the play-ins have been, they might be a sleeper for the play-ins.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
The play-ins are
But just being relevant, you know what I mean? Like having
the
young talent.
Hawks,
Yeah.
the Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, because Brandon Miller said they go to the championship. Brandon Miller said they go to the finals.
Who?
The Hawks. I mean, the Hornets.
Listen, that's.
I'm just saying.
All right. To that point,
He was drunk at his draft party.
No, to that point, we gotta see how he plays. But I don't judge players when they say crazy shit unless you're Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh yeah.
But
Change the game.
I say that because like that season D Rose had when he was like, why can't I be MVP? I was laughing. This nigga really wanted the next season.
Facts. You understand him do it.
Yeah. And he made me believe it. He made me believe it.
But nah, there's no way the Hornets go from not making the playoffs to the championship.
Now they have an in-season tournament. That's what they used to talk about.
True.
I know. That's what they talk about.
But if everything has to work out. Like every team superstar player has to like get injured within this route of going to the playoffs and getting into the play. Like all that shit has to happen to align for them to actually make an NBA Finals. There's no fucking way.
Like unless you're just that talented.
Nah, they're not that good yet. They're gonna be good, but not in 1 year.
But I think there's gonna be a lot.
Not
more.
a training camp. Training camp can help that.
There's definitely gonna be more parity, I guess, in the NBA. I still think Phoenix might be the ones to make themselves look different.
Mm-hmm.
But overall,
on paper.
I mean, shit, in standings too.
I don't know.
Like I just gotta see them play, but on paper, Booker, Beal, and Durant and Ayton.
It looks good.
It looks great.
But does Ayton's numbers? They're definitely
gonna
drop, right?
We gotta wait and see.
Does he increase his rebounding? Let's just say that. He can't average 7 rebounds.
I don't know why everybody's putting everything on. This is why they be frustrating Aiden. Like, yo, y'all got all these things, y'all keep mentioning my name.
I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying.
Like, yo, damn, son, I'm giving y'all 18 and 10. Y'all ain't never called my number. I done screen for everybody. I'm out here screening the ref, everybody, and y'all still
he might not be good enough, man. They might trade him.
So is Ayton's important importance to this big three the equivalent of like a Rondo to the Boston big three?
No, because Rondo's more of the orchestrator to get everyone going.
That's
He's
what.
more of a dependent player.
Nah,
To me,
he's dependent on to get his stats. Like
he has to
his,
do the extra shit too.
like his stats.
Yeah.
But he still sets them up differently, but in the same manner that Rondo does. Like he's a setup person. Like all of those screens and rebound, like all of those things is to set up and make the game easier for the other.
He doesn't do
player.
enough rebounding.
And
That's for me.
I only
He
asked that.
can't do
just
that
to-
when he's on the perimeter all day.
Yeah. But I only asked that to your point to extend like why people keep going to Aiden. Maybe he's that much of an X factor. Like you're the difference. We know what we're gonna get
It's
from
definitely
these.
an X factor.
Mhm.
It's definitely
Wow.
an X factor. Like if he's dominant, what's his name?
Dominating.
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 In his role,
I don't know. We'll see him. I mean,
That's gonna be a great vote.
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if we have anything else.
I mean, free agency's still going on. We're gonna check back with y'all next week. See where Dame ends up, where James Harden ends up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, we still got like 2-3 weeks till that Spence fight.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
2.5,
Right,
2.5,
right.
3 weeks. That's gonna be a great fight.
So if you found this episode to be dope, click the link in the bio. This is Runnin Point. We out here.
We out.
Peace.
One.